Hello, everybody. On March the 1st, 1959, the foundation stone was laid for the Sydney Opera House, one of the most extraordinary bits of architecture in the world. And it was designed by Johan Utzon, who won the prize of being able to produce the final design in a competition. So the building started, as I say, in 1959, but in 1966 he resigned. He was getting completely fed up with the way that he'd been treated. His relationship with the engineers and the builders had come unstuck, but more to the point, a new government had come been elected in Australia, and the minister in charge of the scheme was thoroughly obstructive, or so Utzon said, and it made it impossible for him properly to do his architect's job. And so he left and said he would never, ever go back to Sydney. Well, in the beginning of this century, he did. He was invited to submit plans along with other architects for some redevelopments of the Opera House, and he did, running the risk, no doubt, of being rejected a second time, but he wasn't, and his plans were accepted, and the Utzon room is now part of the Opera House. I respect somebody who, having turned their back on a situation, doesn't allow their pride to get in the way of them coming back to it. I think sometimes it's very easy, if we feel rejected or someone spurned us or feel angry about something, to do as Utzon said, I'm never going back there, that's it for me. And certainly for a while, sometimes we need to live with that sense of being able to reject somebody or some project by which we have also been rejected. But I think it's often valuable and human and generous to allow that sense of resentment to pass, and to not let it stop us moving on, and sometimes moving back into the same situation or to the same relationship that we had felt so angry about previously. I think our pride sometimes can stop us doing that, and I think it's quite important that we allow ourselves to have the humility, but also the wisdom and the hopefulness of knowing that just because we've been rejected once, it doesn't mean we're going to be rejected again. It was a risk for Utzon to put in the new plans. He might have been rejected a second time. And sometimes when we go back to situations where we've been rejected once, we might be rejected again. But I think it's often worth the risk, and certainly doesn't do us any good to cling on to our resentment in such a way that means we miss opportunities for the future that might present themselves to us.